Alright, we're going to check out, shoot, and review this Firefield Rapidstrike 5-20 by 50 scope today. So we'll do a quick tabletop overview and then I'll take you guys down to the range. We'll try it out. I'll do my best to get you guys good images through the scope of what the reticle looks like. We'll take it out some long range, shoot some groups with it and whatnot. And first thing I noticed was for a 5-20 by 50, this is actually a pretty compact scope and pretty lightweight as well. It comes in at 19 ounces. I think I've already been in this box previously. I mean, I haven't mounted it up or anything. So, looks like well, there's your user's manual. I thought it might be a product manual as well, but got a freaking alarm going off here. Excuse me. I had to turn that off. So there's some stats there if you want to pause it and read all that, but there's the gist of everything it comes with. So real nice instructions here. Looks like I had some side-in instructions. I was trying to see if I could find the warranty real quick, perhaps. See the website. All right. Actually, I don't think I've been into this thing yet. But yeah, it's really compact and lightweight for a scope with that much magnification. So if you're wanting to get some decent zoomies there without having a massive scope and adding a lot of weight to your rifle, there you go. So you got the flip up caps there. You have parallax setting on the side here. Looks like it goes down to 15 yards, obviously infinity. And then you got marks for, you know, different distances there, 50, 75, 100, 200, 400, 600. And infinity. Trying to remember, yeah, these are the locking and resettable turret caps. Nice audible click there. We'll try the elevation. Just gotta give it a little wiggle to line her up there. So locking and resettable. So they're exposed, so while you're in the field, you don't have to screw off the cap, make a bunch of noise. You can just pretty silently unlock them there and make your adjustments there if you need to make any adjustments on the slide, or on the fly, rather. And the resettable, so if you got to go... Oh, it's already up. I'm stupid. If you got to go clear up here to get 0 to 100 yards, then you can take this out, and without changing the point of impact, bring it back to 0 there. Lock her down, and then you can use the numbers accordingly for the distance of your shot. Same thing with the windage. So that's the advantage of the locking and resettable, re-zeroable turrets there. Should magnification dial there, 5-20. That's nice and smooth. That's super easy to turn. And then under this cap here, I do believe we have a diopter. Yep. So there's your fast focus diopter, so you can set it to your own specific eyesight. This is waterproof, shockproof, and fogproof second focal plane. It does come with the rings. This is a 30mm tube. Pop those out real quick. Get a look at them. Of course, on the field, you get a look too. You got your little throw lever there. That's optional to install. Looks like a tool for the caps. That way you don't got to use a screwdriver or anything like that. Got your screen wipe there. And then inside of here, we do have a sunshade. And for those who don't know, if the sun's pretty much directly in your face and you're getting some glare, you put that on the end there. It'll screw on. You have to pop your cap off. And that'll give you some shade from the sun. That way you'll get a clearer picture without so much glare if it's directly in your face. I'm sure there's a little Allen wrench or whatever you need in there for this, but I just wanted to pull one out, take a look real quick. I always like it when it looks like a 12 mil there. I always like it when they have the option to put a socket over it, which this one does. So there's your rings. Pretty basic, but they'll work. And these are going to be for a 20mm, and it looks like you can go on Weaver there as well, that has the cutouts for it, because it's not a square block, so it should work on Picatinny and Weaver. Oh, also wanted to mention real quick, they said recoil can handle up to a 338, so it should be a pretty robust scope. It should handle your 308, 30-06 no problem if they're claiming it can handle a 338. And that is a Milhash reticle with 1/10 mil adjustment per click. And the eye relief on this thing seems to be pretty good too at an advertised 3 3/4 inch. But that'll do it for the overview here, so let's take her down on the range and try her out. Alright guys, here we are down on the rifle range. Got her all mounted up and ready to start the sight-in process. Figured I'd give you a good look there before we get started. Going to use 7.62 by 39, so this is a cheap little, it's a PSA lower, Anderson upper. It's quite a rattle trap, lightweight, so a decent amount more recoil than your traditional 223 5.56. So nowhere near that 338 limit that they put on it, but a lot better than 223 5.56. So there's from the other side. Got our throw lever mounted up there, but let's get started zeroing it and then we'll reach out there. Alright, so it's going to start out shooting hit debris down here. 100 yards. Got my target there. We're going to get the zero finalized, but see that red can there in the water? I think it's going to be a little high, and I don't know about high or left yet, but we're going to check. So I'm going to aim at that can in that puddle there, and we'll go from there. Okay, so pretty close, just high. Like I said, I thought it would be a little high, so I'll bring her down a few clicks and then we'll hit this paper here. And we'll just go for that big center oval for this first shot at least. Again, stay tuned and I will be showing you guys what the reticle looks like through the scope. Always well, I have no clue where we're at. I always get a step ahead of myself here. Well, if everything would cooperate so I can show you, give me 1 second. Man, why is this so dark? There we go. Anyways, I knew something was off because it should not have thrown the shot that low with that few clicks. And I forgot to tighten my base down there. So the rings are tied up here. I just got to tighten her down on the base there. All right, got her tightened up there, and I had zero issue with the hardware up here. Everything went in nice and smooth. Wasn't even gritty. No issues with feeling like it was going to cross thread or anything like that with these little guys up here. However, these ones here, after they were finger tight, I had to tighten them for quite a while. There was resistance the entire time. I was starting to wonder if I was stripping them, but they did finally snug up. So I don't know what that's about, but make sure you get them tightened down on there, because I was like, are these tight? Because they're like tight but kind of loose at the same time. They were beyond finger tight, but it just kept going and going. I was like, all right, I'll go a little more, and then they finally went and snugged up, both of them. No stripping or anything like that. So make sure you get them snugged down on there, or you might think you're having issues with the scope, when in reality it's just not actually tightened down all the way. That said, I removed the scope to take the pictures that are coming up later so you can see the reticle, and then reinstalled it. And the second time around it didn't do that. They snugged up real nice and quick. So I'm assuming the first time around it must have just had a little excess paint on the threads or something that it was chewing through. Alright, so anyways, let's try this again, and I really have no clue where it's going to go now that it's actually properly tightened down. It might completely miss the paper, but fingers crossed we hit the paper. Alright, cool. Even though it was sliding back and forth previously, pretty much the same spot. So we need to go a little bit to the right and bring it up a decent amount. So I'm not doing the math in my head. It would be super easy if I would just memorize it, but because I can't remember if this one was mil radian or MOA. But anyways, see, I need to go to the right. So let's try that. All right, still need to go up some. It shouldn't have moved it that far to the right. Let's go back. The same 3 clicks I gave it. I believe I gave it 3. I was like, okay, maybe it could just be the accuracy. It's the first time I've shot this ammo, so it might be shooting 3 or 4 inch groups down there. I don't know. It doesn't look like it because 2 shots keep being close to each other. So we went 3 back to the left there. Unless I pulled that 1 shot, it's possible. But we definitely still need to go up. And let's try that. Now remember, I just went back those 3 clicks that I previously gave it to the right. Took it back to the left since we're off to the right down there. So I might have pulled that 1 shot. So we'll see where we're at now. All right, I took 3 there because I know I pulled that, well, I was pretty sure I pulled that 2nd shot there, pulled it low left, and sure enough, yep, that's why I took that 3rd shot. So now we're a little high, so that must be the mill click one. I'm doing like multiple videos today, so we need to come back down. I don't remember how many clicks I gave it. Again, with the math, it'd be super easy, but I don't really care. So we're zeroed at 100 now, and I have this target out here, 300 yards. So I'm still using this stuff here, but I'm going to use the ballistics chart off of this, so it's not going to be 100% because this is different ammo, but with 100 yard zero should be about 19 inches low at 300. So I'm not worried about making any adjustments on scope or anything like that. Just going to use some Kentucky windage and aim about 19 inches high. Alright, I'll get the fuse zoomed in here in a minute, but we'll do zoomed out first. So there's the target there. Keep an eye on it. You should be able to see it on the right side of the screen while I fire. Alrighty, there's your 3 in a row, no problem. So I'll zoom you in for 2 more. Again, we're at 300 yards. Again, different ammo than the trajectory I looked at, but we should have been hitting towards the bottom of the plate because I was only aiming a few inches over it. So we got her sighted in fairly easy there, printing decent groups down there at 100 yards, especially for that being cheap steel case out of a cheap rifle. 300 yard hits, no problem. So I'll roll in some footage now so you guys can see the reticle and the, I can't remember if this one had the illumination or not. Anyways, we'll go at least 400 in this video after I show you guys the reticle real quick, and then we'll wrap up.
Alright, so my experience using this scope, it does have a little bit of fisheye around the edges, which you can clearly see in this picture, but the camera throughout these images, it does exacerbate it a little bit. I would say the fisheye is on only like the 5 to 10% of that very outer edge of the image there, but nonetheless you can see what I'm talking about in this imagery. And then also, once I got up past 12x magnification, there's a little bit of like fuzziness, haze, which down here on this 100 yard target, the camera does not do a good job of showing that, but once I show you the 400 yard images, you will see that fuzziness slash haze. But here we are at 100 yards on the minimum magnification of 5x. Then here's the same target, same distance on 12x. As I just mentioned, if I went beyond this, I started to get some blurring and hazing. So this is what it looks like down there at 100 yards on 12x, while I still get a fairly decent, crisp, clear image and all that. Again, you can see a little bit of fisheye around the edge. And then here we are at the maximum magnification of 20x, and while you cannot see the hazing, again you will see that in the 400 yard images coming up in just a second, you can see what I'm talking about here, where it starts to get a little bit blurry there once you go past that 12x magnification. Alright, now here we are down at 400 yards where that gong is. Of course you can see the 450 and then 500 yard mound there too, clear to the very back. Kind of on the left hand side of the scope screen there is 540 yards, but we got it kind of pointed just over the 400 yard mound there with the 16-inch steel gong. But anyways, there's minimum magnification of 5x at 400 yards. And then here is that 12x magnification, which again seemed to be the limit for me to be able to still have it clear, crisp, without any hazing or anything like that. And then here it is all the way up on 20x at 400 yards, and now you could see that hazing that I was talking about. So I'm always honest in my reviews, always have been, always will be, but if you've ever wondered if I'm honest or not, well, this is another example right here where I'm giving you guys the God's honest truth. So not such great performance all the way up on that maximum magnification there. That said, you can see it's still fully usable. It's just not as clear and crisp as one would prefer it to be.
Alright, got the gong out there at 400 now. Take some shots at that. Whoa. Think we have an aim point. But anyways, there you go. There's my honest review on it. Like I said, fully functional. You know, it gets me out there, no problem. I could use it even further with a more powerful cartridge and still get hits. You know, it's just a little bit, like I said, with the fisheye around the edge there, and then it goes kind of like fuzzy, hazy once you get past that 12x magnification. Not a huge fan of that, but totally usable scope. Just I wish it was more clear on the higher magnification there. But if you are interested, there's a link in the description for the scope if you want to check it out in more detail. If you guys want to get yourself any of the other products you see me use in my videos, safety glasses, earmuffs, shooting bag there, target stand, paper targets I use, steel target, rangefinder, and way more, links in the description to all that. But thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, and I hope to catch you on the next one.